At this time, I'd like to introduce Philip Huiban-Hoa, your village president, to introduce our very special guest.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Philip Huiban-Hoa. We are all extremely, let me repeat, extremely honored to be in a room with the living legend, Mr. Tommy Lasorda. Some of you younger students may be thinking, who is Mr. Lasorda? How is he a living legend? Well, to answer those questions, let me give you a brief example of his accomplishments. Mr. Lasorda was the Los Angeles Dodgers coach and their manager for 20 years, winning 2 world championships, 4 National League pennants, and 8 division titles. He has been part of the Dodgers organization for 62 seasons. Now he is the special advisor to the owners of the Dodgers and an international ambassador. Mr. Lasorda is an All-American legend who coached the U.S. Olympic baseball team to their first gold medal in the 2000 Summer Olympics. He was inducted to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in 1997 and has been elected to a total of 17 Halls of Fames. He has received 8 honorary doctorate degrees from colleges and universities. Mr. Lasorda has visited 28 countries on behalf of the Dodgers and Major League Baseball. He has been an inspiring speaker at 45 military bases around the world. Finally, Mr. Lasorda has also received an Order of the Rising Sun's Gold Rays with Rosette from the Emperor of Japan for contributing to Japanese baseball. As you can see by his accomplishments, it is most obvious that Mr. Lasorda is a very honorable man. Mr. Lasorda is here today because he wants to talk to us about what it takes to become successful. He's going to tell us how he became successful and what paths to take in school. It isn't surprising that Mr. Lasorda became famous with his talents, but he did not become famous by wishing to a genie. He had to work hard, make the right choices, and do the right things. So now, I would like to give the mic and your attention to Mr. Lasorda. On behalf of Chadwick School, I would like to give this Chadwick hat to Mr. Lasorda, showing our appreciation for him coming here today.
Thank you, Philip. Very nice. Very good. Thank you very much, Philip. What a wonderful introduction. Usually they do that when you're dead. But I'm happy to be here today because of the students that are registered here who come to this school. And I'm here to deliver a message. I didn't come here to hear myself talk. I came here to deliver a message to all of you. And the message is education, opportunities, and what you want to be in life. You see, you have the opportunity to live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. You got to be proud of that. And you got to understand that whatever you want to be, you could be. Whatever you want to accomplish, you can accomplish. So it's all in the matter of what you want to do, what you want to be. Education is something that no one can take away from you. Education is something that will open many doors to success for you as you grow older and get out into our world, the world of your parents and my world. If you are not fully prepared when you get out into the world, then you're going to, like many, you're going to fall by the wayside. So get a good education. That's very, very important. The opportunity is here. You are come to a great school that you should be proud. Great teachers. You know, I have so much of love and affection for teachers, and I'll tell you why. Because your parents, they bring you here and they say to this teacher, take care of my son or daughter, teach him. And you put that responsibility on those teachers that they have to teach you to become better citizens, better people, and to get a good education. So how about a nice round of applause for the teachers? Good. Now I like to ask a couple questions here. Young lady, you. Who takes care of you when you feel sick? Her mom. Wonderful. You. Who feeds you? Your mom and dad, right. You. Who buys your clothes? Your mom and dad. But what do you give back to your mom and dad? You can't walk up to your mom and dad and say, here's $50 for taking care of me. You can't do that. You know what you owe your parents? Love and respect. That's what you owe your parents. And don't ever forget it. Because when this thing is practically over, I'm going to ask you some questions and see if you remember what I'm going to tell you in a little while. So pay attention. If I call upon you to ask you a question and you don't answer it, that means you were not paying attention to me talking to you. So I'm going to tell you there are three ways that we learn in life. Number one, we learn by concentration, thinking, doing it. The letter C, right? Conversation, right? You learn, how much have you learned conversing with your teachers, conversing with your parents, conversing with other people? You learn a lot, right? The letter C. And then we learn by observation. Just think how much you have learned just looking. The letter O. So conversation, the letter C. Observation, the letter O. And then you learn by doing things, by participating, right? The letter P. What does that spell? Cop, right. Conversation, observation, and participation. And when this thing is almost over, I'm going to ask somebody, what are the three ways we learn in life? And you better tell it to me. Because then otherwise you're not listening. I didn't come here to hear myself talk. I told you like that. I come here to deliver a message to you. I tell you, you go to school to get an education. You got to do the best you can. When you walk in that classroom, you got to want to be the best student in that classroom. That's what you should want to be. And the only way you can be is you do your homework, you listen to your teachers. So, you know, like I used to tell our ball players, there are three types of people, just like there are three types of ball players. Number one is the one who makes it happen. Number two is the one who watches it happen. And number three is the one, all you have to do is want it. All you have to do is pay the price. I tell you, in 1977, I was sitting in Dodger Stadium. I was a scout for the Dodgers, making $7,000 a year. $7,000 a year. And you know, we were playing the Yankees in the World Series. And I said to my wife, because they put the scouts way up behind home plate. When I looked down, the players looked like midgets. We were up there so high. I said to my wife, I said, you see that dugout? Yeah. I said, one day I will be in that dugout managing the Dodgers in a World Series. That was in 1963. As I said, we were playing the Yankees, right? 1963. 1977, that's 14 years later, Tommy Lasorda was managing the Dodgers from that dugout in the World Series against the Yankees, because I believed that I was going to get that job. And in order to get that job, I had to pay the price. And the price of success can only come through the avenue of hard work, desire, and self-confidence. When I got the job as manager of the Dodgers in 1977, Vince Scully interviewed me. And he said, "You are replacing a man who's been here for 23 years. You are replacing a manager that's a future Hall of Famer. You are replacing a man as one of the greatest managers in the history of baseball. Don't you feel that there's going to be a lot of pressure replacing him?" And I didn't even hesitate. I said, "You want to know something, Vinny? I'm worried about the guy who's going to have to replace me." See? Now, you see, if I were concerned on who I was replacing, I might have felt inferior. But when I thought about the guy who was going to replace me, all of a sudden, I felt superior. Just the direction that I looked in, self-confident. I believed that that was going to happen. And in order to get it, I had to pay the price. And the price of success comes easy. Now, I want all of you together. What are the 3 ways we learn in life? Conversation, observation, participation. All right, boy, I'll tell you one thing. This is the greatest bunch of students that has ever come back like that and told me what I had said. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. Now I want to tell you a little bit about the people who are responsible for you, your parents. They're the ones that love you. They're the ones that no matter what it is, they have this tremendous love for you. You don't need your parents when you're playing with your friends. You don't need your parents when you're playing sports. You need your parents when times are tough. They'll be there for you. They'll be there to put their arms around you and tell you what you need to do to be good. So what about a nice round of applause for the parents? Good. Good. You know something? You know, when I used to sit out in the seats in an assembly in school, I would daydream. I dreamt that I wanted to be a major league player. I used to go to bed, and believe me when I tell you this, I used to actually dream that I was pitching for the Yankees. And I looked out in the outfield playing for him was Babe Ruth. Lou Gehrig was my first baseman. And I was pitching for the Yankees in the great stadium, Yankee Stadium. And then all of a sudden, I'd feel my mother shaking me and saying, "Wake up, Tommy. It's time to go to school." I said, "Why did she take me away from that dream? Why did she leave me alone?" Then years later, I was warming up in the bullpen in Yankee Stadium. Yogi Berra was the hitter, and the manager went out to the mound, and he signaled for the left-hander to come in. And I took that long walk from the bullpen to the pitcher's mound, and as I walked, I went, "I've been here many times in my dreams." so dreams become reality. You got to dream of what you want to be. If you love it, dream about it. You can attain it. You can make it if you believe in yourself. Self-confidence. Now, I'm going to ask all of you together what I said. What do you owe your parents? Yeah, that's great. Wow. Colin, can you believe this? Unbelievable. Boy, these kids are smart, I'll tell you that. There's a friend of mine here. I'd like to introduce him to you. He's the reason why I'm here. He asked me to come here to speak to all of you, and his son attends school here. How about a nice round of applause for Warren Lippenstein? Where's Warren? Hi, Warren. You know what Warren said? You know how Warren got me here? Funny how he got me here. He said to me one day, we were eating dinner. He said, Tommy, every time I hear you talk about living in the greatest country in the world, the United States. I said, that's right, Warren. He said, then you definitely believe in free speech in this country. I said, I sure do, Warren. He said, you believe in the Constitution of this country? I sure do, Warren. You believe in free speech? Yes. He said, good. You're going to have to make one at the school. So this is why I'm here. That's what Warren did for me. And there's a little young man sitting in this audience. I don't know where he is, but I want him to stand up. Stephen, that's my boy. All right, good to see you. I'm happy to see you, Stephen. Boy, what a handshake. He learned that you shake hands with a firm grip and you look at the person you're shaking hands with. Stephen, I'm proud of you. This guy can play, too. He's a good baseball player. He wants to play for the Dodgers. How many of you want to play for the Dodgers, you boys? How many in here are Dodger fans? All right, all right. Well, I'm going to ask you once again, before I leave, all together, what are the 3 ways we learn in life? All right, I love it, I love it. What do you owe your parents? I love it, that's great. And to all of you, I wish you good health. I wish you a lot of happiness. I wish you get a good education. And thank the teachers who spend the time with you. Again, let's applaud them. So, when you go to bed tonight and you lay your head down on the pillow, take a little time. Thank God for the good things He's given you in life. Sometimes you might feel cheated, denied, or deprived. Look over your shoulder. See how many people are worse off than you. Then you'll realize how lucky you are. So tonight, when you lay your head down on that pillow, you say your prayers. If you have any compassion in your heart, you'll say a prayer for Tommy and the Dodgers. Thank you.
All right, boys and girls, can we give Mr. Lasorda a big round of applause as a thank you for coming to Chadwick today?